In a long-running series, you're gonna have characters that don't get as much attention as other people. It is what it is. But Uraraka is not one of those characters, and not only that, she's not one of those female characters. She has some of the most development in the entire series. Don't believe me? Let's start back from the beginning. So the first thing we knew about Uraraka is that she is somebody that wants to be a hero, not because she genuinely cares about helping people, but because her family is poor, and to help them out, she needs her license. If you can make all those steel beams and stuff weightless and just carry them super easily, you save so much on construction costs. You don't gotta hire that many people. She'd basically become a one-woman construction site. So from the start, this was her goal: become a hero that makes money so she can bring her family out of poverty. Which on its own is a pretty noble goal. But then, after she gets attacked by villains at the end of Season 1 and then loses to Bakugo in Season 2, she comes to the realization that, you know what, I can't really afford to be weak out here. Using my quirk is not enough. I need hands too. So with her first internship, she works with Gunhead so she can learn Gunhead martial arts, and she starts to apply it in every fight moving forward. And this is very important because with Uraraka's quirk, her hand-to-hand combat makes her one of the most deadly hand-to-hand fighters in the entire world of My Hero. That might sound like I'm capping, that might sound like a gross exaggeration, but think about it. The moment she grabs you, which she is going to do because now she is competent in hand-to-hand combat, your body becomes weightless, and she can now ragdoll your weightless body around with all the jujitsu training that she has from Gunhead. When Uraraka pins you to the ground, there ain't nothing you can do. You don't weigh anything. She's basically a truck on top of your back, keeping you in place. That's why despite how strong Bakugo was when he fought Uraraka, he was like, I cannot let her touch me, because he knew he would lose if she did, and that was before the hand-to-hand training. Like when she first met Toga, she was able to pin her down to the ground, and this is not a small feat. She's one of the few people in the entire series that can avoid Aizawa using his capture weapon on her. And then she used that as an opportunity to not only shank him in the back, but then get away. And Aizawa is one of the most competent hand-to-hand fighters we know. But back to this moment, it was after she started talking to Toga, she thought, this girl is just crazy, but Toga was just trying to talk to her normally. It's just that Toga has a different idea of normal. But then after that moment, we end up having the entire thing with the Shie Hasaikai, and then she ends up seeing Night Eye die in her arms. To which afterwards she has a conversation with Aizawa being like, he was in my hands and I couldn't do anything to save him, so I gotta become a better hero so that does not happen again. Which became the next biggest question she started to ask herself, which was, who protects the heroes when they out there and they need help? Night Eye needed help, but no one could save him, not even me. Midori needed help, and I was powerless to help him. And just a reminder, this was Uraraka's dream when she first got to UA, which was just to get money so her broke family can get by. But after going through all of her trials and tribulations, now that dream is, I want to help heroes who cannot help themselves. And then after meeting Toga for the second time and having a second conversation with her, where Toga's trying to talk to Uraraka even more than she did the first time, mind you, Uraraka still just kind of writes her off, even though Toga is here seeking help. But she didn't know that until she turns her down the second time, and then she sees Toga start to cry, and she's like, wait a minute. Maybe this girl just isn't a crazy girl. Maybe she actually needed help, and she came to me, a hero, for help. And for Uraraka, it didn't click until she was yelling at all those people that wouldn't let Midoriya back into UA. Cause she's like, I'm asking for y'all cooperation. Like, let's work together so we can all smile. And then she thought about Toga, was like, oh, that is what she wanted from me. The same way I'm asking for these people's cooperation, I should have been cooperating with her. The same way I'm not seeing eye to eye with these people, but I want us all to smile. That's how she was probably feeling with me. And I'm sure at that moment, Uraraka's heart fell to her stomach because she realized, man, I really messed up. I could have helped somebody that really needed help. Which is why during the next war, she's like, hey, Toga, we haven't had a chance to talk about romance. Remember, you wanted to talk to me, right? And I remember seeing some people like, why is she trying to do this? Why is she trying to talk to her? This is all like, they can't understand the plot of it all, but let me break it down for you. Toga's powers work off of emotion, because if she loves you, she can not only copy and turn into you, but she can also use your quirk. Meaning, if you're fighting her on the battlefield and you are actively trying to kill her, which is going to make her hate you so much more, and probably love her allies way more than she currently does, you're going to push her over the edge to be able to use Shigaraki, Dabi, and whoever else's ability. The best thing to do is to sit back and try to talk to her. That is quite literally the smartest thing to do. Hawks yelling to kill her would not help the situation. Because if Hawks is trying to kill her, and imagine Dabi shoots one fireball in her direction to help her out, just one time. That could be enough to sway her emotions into loving Dabi, and now all these clones could turn into Dabi and they just turn Japan into ash. And the thing is, Uraraka and Tsuyu understand that, which is why Tsuyu didn't try to stop Uraraka for trying to talk to her. And some of the fans that didn't get that would have understood it if they had just watched and paid attention. These characters say a lot of the things that they end up doing and they end up thinking. So if you're listening or if you're reading, you'll catch most of it. But with that alone, you should be able to see that Uraraka is not only far from being underwritten, but she is one of the best written characters in My Hero. Starting as a hero that only wanted to be a hero for money because she wanted to bring her family out of poverty, only to then experience combat for the first time, and even though what she wanted to do has nothing to do with combat, she thought to herself, you know, I probably shouldn't be a scrub in combat because losing feels very terrible. Not only that, but villains seem to be after me and my friend, so I should be able to defend us from that. And then she has her first real mission where Night Eye dies and everything starts to set in on like how real everything is. Now she is no longer thinking about trying to get her family money. Now she's thinking about what can I do to be a better hero so that people do not die in my arms. She starts thinking, how can I be a better hero to save villains that are coming to me for help so that they can get off the street? Because I know she's kicking herself because if she had helped Toga way back when, Toga wouldn't be doing a sad man's death parade right now. Which throws her into the lion's den with somebody that's trying to kill her, even though her original goal when she got to this school was just to bring her family out of poverty. Everything she's doing right now is counterintuitive to that, but to the new dream she had of helping heroes and helping people that are just like abandoned by society, yeah, she's showing dividends on that end. So at the end of the day, you can think what you want when it comes to these characters about My Hero, but just understand, when you're talking about underdeveloped or underwritten characters, Uraraka is far from that list.